Alright, welcome to our third and final video about hyperbolas. Just grabbed a couple examples off of the assignment, some things that I wanted to show you, some things that you might see. This first one, we're just going to see, we want to come up with the equation of a hyperbola that has vertices of 3, 0 and negative 3, 0, and asymptotes of 2/3 x and negative 2/3 x. So I think the easiest way to start this out is see what's going on here. So I'm going to just graph this. And this graph's going to be part of my work, so I'm not even going to bother taking the time to label my axes. I'm just going to say 1, 2, 3, there's one vertex. 1, 2, 3, there's my second vertex. Okay, I notice my vertices are horizontal, so that means my hyperbola should open up something like that. That means that in my graph or my equation, since that's what I'm looking for, my x is going to be positive, y is going to be negative. So x minus something squared over minus y minus something squared over equals 1. Very first thing I noticed. Next thing I notice, I want to find the middle of these 2 points because that should be my center. My center happens to be, in this case, my origin. So I'm just going to drop in my h and my k. Now the last thing I need is I need my a and my b. So I look back here, and if I remember the shortcut, the slope of my hyperbolas was always, sorry, the slope of my asymptotes was always b over a. That's it. It's that simple. So b is 3, a is 2, a is going to go underneath my x, b is going to go underneath my y, 3 squared, a squared, oops, that was a 2, excuse me, we know what that is, we better fill it in, and we just simplify. X squared over 4 minus y squared over 9 equals 1. There is the equation of our hyperbola. So one type that we may have. The other type that I wanted to take a look at, let's see, here it is. A little bit different. This time, instead of having the slope of my asymptotes, I had the foci. So I'm going to have to use that c squared equals a squared plus b squared to see if I can find my a and my b based on what I have. So again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see what this looks like with a graph. Yeah, not going to fit here, so I'm going to go 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, still doesn't fit real nice. I think that's what I'm going to do though. 4, 8, 12, and then I'm just going to graph my 15 off the graph. So let's see, vertices 12, 0 and negative 12, 0. Okay, right away again, I notice that if I'm trying to come up with an equation, my x is going to be positive because I've got a horizontal axis. So I write down pieces that I know of my equation anyway. Let's see, my center again looks like my center is 0, 0. Okay, so I filled in my h and my k. I know the component underneath my x value has to be 12 because I'm 12 units away. So 12 squared goes underneath my x. Now I need to figure out what this piece is. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to use my foci. Let's go ahead and graph our foci on here. The foci would be at 15, so somewhere out here, and negative 15, so somewhere out in there. Okay, how does that help me? Well, I know that the distance from my center point to my foci, 15, squared has to equal the distance from my center point to my vertex, 12 squared plus all my b components, b squared. Let's see, doing some mental math here, 225 equals 144 plus b squared. Looks like b squared equals, hold up my calculator there to help me a little bit, b squared equals 81. Okay, so that means that b is equal to 9. Perfect. Well, I didn't really need to know that that's going to be 9 because it's going to square it anyway. But I know that my b component is 9, so b squared. If I wanted to graph, I could go up my 9 spaces and 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, somewhere in there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, somewhere in there. And I could make that box again. And that gives me my asymptotes. Undo that. So I'm struggling with my pen here. I want to stretch that. There we go. So if I were trying to graph, and probably made that one a little shallow. It should have been more like this. That is what my hyperbola would look like, or a rough sketch of it. And if I wanted the equation, I just simplify x squared over 144 minus y squared over 81 equals 1. And there is the equation for that hyperbola.